Hello, and welcome to my wrestling channel. I'm here to review the August 1987 issue of Sport Review Wrestling. So let's take a look. Of course, on the cover you have Hulk Hogan and Ken Patera. Will today's friendship become WrestleMania 4? You got Kevin Von Erich and Lord the Barbarian. And you got coverage of the second annual Crockett Cup with Dusty Rhodes and Rick Rude. So let's open up the magazine and start reviewing. Of course, you got the mailbag, and there's people that's talking about one fan that's talking about the Rock and Roll Express and how much they love him. Of course, that was common deal in the early '80s. All the girls love the Rock and Roll Express. The Tatler. This is just talk correspondence talking about certain stories in major territories, and this talks about Kevin Von Erich when he passed out at in the I think the Will Rogers Coliseum, and he turned blue, and Tommy Rogers had to get him out, had to give him mouth to mouth. Kevin Von Erich passed out, and Tommy Rogers had to give him mouth to mouth. So, but they blamed it. They said it was a concussion. The spokesperson for World Class said Kevin Von Erich had a concussion. So, I mean, you don't know what really went on with that guy and that family. So, inquiring reporter just talks about referees, and his question is, do you think that referees are too lenient? And there's people that has their rights, their opinion about that. Scrapbook that's covering stuff from July and August of 1967 and July and August of 1972. Has a picture of Boris Malenko. Boris Malenko lay exhausted on the mat after a bloody brawl with Eddie Graham, ended in a double disqualification. Then it has another picture of Buddy Rogers made a successful comeback by defeating Sweet Daddy Siki in Montreal. The top wrestlers answer your questions of the month. And the question of the month, do you wrestle for the love of the sport or for the money? And Nick Bockwinkel says, I've been in this sport for a long time, so that should answer your question. I got into wrestling because I love it, and that's why I'm still here. I have all the money I'm ever going to need. That's no problem. I've won several AWA World Championships, so being a champion is not my motivation either. Wrestling is what I enjoy doing most, and when it comes time to retire, they're going to have to drag me away. So that's Nick Bockwinkel. Tully Blanchard says, love of the sport. What the heck do you think this is? Nobody's ever gotten anywhere through the love of what they do. You do what the best. You do what you do best because that's the way you're ever going to make money. So I'm here for one reason, that's the money. And Jerry Lawler says, that's a tough question because I think that for almost any wrestler, it has to be a combination of the two. First of all, I'd be a fool to spend my entire life doing something that I didn't love. But then again, if I couldn't make money doing it, I'd have to do something else. In reality, I started wrestling because I love it. I'm still here, though, because of the money. So, Shawn Michaels says, I do it for the love of partying. So, of course, Bruiser Brody, of course, you know it's for the money for him. The more money, the more money, the better. That's why I'm here. So that's just some of the people that they do it for the love of money or the love of the sport. Wrestler of the month, Big Bubba Rogers. This is after he won the UWF championship for the One Man Gang. So he is their wrestler of the month. interview with Steve Keirn. This is after Stan Lane left to join the Midnight Express. So he's talking about how disappointed he is that Stan joined the Midnight Express, but he can't blame him for keep moving since Steve Keirn had himself decided to go into semi-retirement. So he's not mad that Stan Lane left, but I guess he's just mad that he joined over Jim Cornette. NWA title contender Brad Armstrong. The promoters won't take him seriously, but Ric Flair must. Yeah, man, Brad Armstrong was one of those great wrestlers. I just don't understand how he didn't make it in the major leagues. It's like in all the independents, he was always good, but in WCW, that whole Armstrong curse thing was just a joke. He was too good for that, but always had that guy losing in WCW. And I guess I guess WWF never wanted him. So I mean, I guess he did go to WWF near the end, but that was just doing commentary. But Brad Armstrong was so much good. It's a shame he didn't get a bigger push. Kevin Von Erich takes on Noah the Barbarian, the test of a man, the test of a champion. So he's wrestling Noah the Barbarian, and this was just after Mike Von Erich had passed away. So I guess about 2 weeks after Mike's death, he had to go in there and wrestle. So Hulk Hogan, Ken Patera. Will today's friendship become WrestleMania 4? And of course, they're talking about how eventually, just like Mr. Wonderful did, that Ken Patera will eventually turn on Hulk Hogan. Of course, that did not happen, but you probably thought it might, based on, the thing with Mr. Wonderful. And this is exclusive coverage of the second annual Crockett Cup, which was won by Dusty Rhodes and Nikita Koloff, the Superpowers. Just showing some pictures from the matches. And then the single matches, Big Bubba Rogers versus Ole Anderson and Ric Flair versus Barry Windham, which I think is the best match between those two. I know they had some matches before, but this is my favorite match between Ric Flair and Barry Windham from the Crockett Cup. Okay, you got the ratings. Number 1 in the top 10, WWF World Champion Hulk Hogan. Number 2, NWA World Champion Ric Flair. Number 3, Intercontinental Champion Ricky Steamboat. Number 4, U.S. Champ Nikita Koloff. Number 5, Barry Windham. Number 6, Randy Savage. Number 7, Lex Luger. Number 8, the AWA World Champion Curt Hennig. Number 9, Steve Williams. And number 10, the AWA Southern Champion Austin Idol. Okay, as far as tag teams, number 1, the Road Warriors. Number 2, the NWA World Tag Team Champions, Manny Fernandez and Rick Rude. Number 3, the WWF World Tag Team Champions, the Hart Foundation. Number 4, the Can-Am Connection. Number 5, the AWA World Tag Team Champions, the Midnight Rockers. Number 6, the Superpowers. Number 7, the UWF Tag Team Champions, Sting and Rick Steiner. Number 8, the Midnight Express. Number 9, the World Class Tag Team Champions, the Fantastics. And number 10, the Florida Tag Team Champions, the Mod Squad. So, continue from the mailbag. Inquirer Reporters, Scrapbook. Right here, they're talking about the match between Pedro Morales and Bruno Sammartino that ended in a draw. They talk about matches from July and August from 1977. July and August of 1982, they talk about the passing of Peter Maivia from cancer at age 47. This month in The Wrestler, the Can-Am Connection has won the fans' hearts. Now can they win the Hearts belts? It's the power matchup you've been waiting for as Lex Luger muscles in on Nikita Koloff. Ole Anderson says kicking Arn's butt makes me a happy man. Who deserves the world-class tag team titles, the Fantastics or the RPMs? How high can the Birdman Coco Beware fly in the WWF? A Q&A interview with North the Barbarian, and introducing Steve Cox. This month in Pro Wrestling Illustrated, the Summer Spectacular Giant Full Color Section Special Issue Supercards 87, where they feature coverage of WrestleMania 3, the Crockett Cup, UWF Super Blast at the Superdome, and Texas Stadium at Parade of Champions. Plus, Mike Von Erich commits suicide. Now he's at peace with the Lord. 8 isn't enough as the Four Horsemen take on the Superpowers and the Road Warriors. An exclusive interview, press conference with Jerry Lawler, and the PWI poll and scouting reports. Rest of the Tatler, talking about the match between Kurt Hennig and Nick Bockwinkel, and if Kurt Hennig really deserves the championship. When they said that they were reviewing the tape and they tried to say that Kurt Hennig had some coins in his hand, which he did, but the referee couldn't prove it, so Kurt did win that championship. Rest of the story between Hulk Hogan and Ken Patera. Okay, this has been the review of Sports Review Wrestling, August 1987. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.